So here's how I made 5,000 in a week with Clickfunnels as a funnel designer, right? I got a message on Facebook asking two different things. Number one, hey, can I hire you to build a funnel for me? And number two, how much do you charge? So this alone tells me already a couple different things. Number one, they're already interested and they're coming to me for a service. They need the funnel already. And this is key. I'll explain more in a second. Number two, they've seen some of my stuff already. Could have been funnels, content, could have been my portfolio or my profile. They've seen something and now they're reaching out, which is going to help me in closing the client because they're coming to me. I'm not going to them and trying to convince them of something. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how we went from that stage to then closing them as a client, as well as the other part, of the 5K and how I make money with ClickFunnels as a funnel designer. And I have other videos about other income streams using ClickFunnels as well. So make sure you subscribe. I'm also going to cover what the offer was, what the person said when they reached out to me, how I responded to them, how I presented the offer to them in a way that felt like a no-brainer, which it was. Win-win deal. And then finally, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you how I designed the funnel, different sections, the top process, how I made sure that it converts, which it did as they launched the funnel as well. Speaking of which, make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm because science says that for each like, we get another free video from Gusten about how to build funnels. Also subscribe. First, we're going to break down the revenue numbers a little bit. $5,000 in a week, which is 20K per month, which is 240,000 per year as a funnel designer, if I'm getting that correctly. And that's 2 funnels per week, which means you have time to do other stuff as well. You don't have to hire a big team, have a big office. This is literally me at home paying $0 for this rent. And while I won't mention any specific fees for these 2 projects, the amount of work, the scope was pretty similar in both of them. And as far as the fees go, some would say 2 funnels, 5K. That's pretty low ticket, don't you think? Some people would say it's high ticket if they're used to a little bit less. I would say it's somewhere in the middle. And I think it's important that I give context to why, because usually I charge from 3,500 to 5K for an entire funnel, everything included, design, copy, all of that good stuff. And so here's the reason why this was a little bit lower. Both of these projects had something in place already, which helps obviously building the funnel. So I said, I'm going to give you a custom deal instead of this, going to be that. And I'll explain. You'll literally see my messages, how I turn this prospect into a client by using my DM closing strategies that I also teach. So here's what they messaged me and what I replied back to them. Hey, Gusten, do you do ClickFunnels redesigns? We have a funnel built already that sold over 200 spots in an online course, but would like to redesign as we don't love the look of the site currently. And that's when I knew, okay, they're already using ClickFunnels, they're already having funnels, they have something in place, which means that it's going to be easier for me to build this out. And it already felt like a dream project. But that's when they said this. We're targeting to have the redesign ready for our next launch next week. And so it was at this moment that he knew we messed up. Now, it was at this moment that I had to make a decision. Can I promise not only to deliver the funnel next week, but can I promise to get it done beautiful, converting, good copy, everything, so that it would be just as awesome as if I had 2 weeks. And because they had things in place, because they already have a funnel, that shortcuts the research process. And so that's why I felt confident. And that's why I could tell them like, yes, it's going to be possible. And so here's why I replied back to them. Yep, totally works. I usually have around a week turnaround time. So next week is definitely possible. What's your current funnel link so I can check it out? And yeah, that's really the next step of this process. As soon as you go from connecting with them as a person, you want to go to the next stage of the DM closing process, which is collecting information so that the third one, when you go to closing, you can actually have the right information, you've asked the right questions, and you can close the deal. So he sent me the link, I checked it out, and I immediately saw what I could do better. I mean, they had amazing results. They have clients like Adobe, Google, Mazda, Xbox, Polar Pro, Snapchat, like they have big global brands. And so I immediately told them like, we need to build something that's a little bit more professional, clean, and also communicates the value of your offer, because what you've done is amazing. And they also have 800,000 plus combined followers through their personal pages and business pages. So I already knew this was going to be a killer offer as well. But as I usually do sometimes, I almost made a mistake that cost me this client. And luckily it didn't, but let me explain what happened. So right after that, I should have continued asking questions. I should have collected more information, and I should have just kept the conversation going. But for some reason, I got busy with other projects, and so I thought I'll just respond later tonight. Let's figure out the details and move forward then and there. But then I got busy, my inbox got flooded, and you guessed it, I forgot. The problem here is they could have easily gone to someone else, asked the same thing. Maybe they would have been price shopping, and they would have just gone with someone else who's maybe cheaper. They have similar sort of designs, maybe not better or worse, but in the scope that they would have felt comfortable with, keeping in mind that the launch was coming up next week. One way to prevent this is to build a personal brand and post beautiful funnels along with other personal content as well, a good mix of everything, right? So that you build trust with people before they ever reach out, so that they choose you for a reason. And so in that case, they would send a follow-up message saying, hey, what do you think? Can we move forward? Instead of going to someone else, because they really want to work with you. And that's what happened, thankfully. So here's what they sent, I think the next morning. Hey Gusten, just checking in if you're able to get us a quote, and if you're able to take on the project as we're coming up on our launch date pretty quickly here. And that's where I was like, crap, I forgot. Let's see if it's too late or if it's still possible. I don't know. Did I mess this up? Like all these thoughts. So instead of then sending a text message, I sent them a voice message to kind of show my personality, to still show that I was interested, because with tonality and your voice, you can communicate in other ways than just sending a text like, hey, yeah, let's do it. So the way that I framed this voice message was specific for their funnel that I already took a look at. And so here's what I said. The first thing I mentioned was that we can use some of the copy that they already have, but instead of having this long form blog post type of page, we can have shorter copy sections, and we can design graphics that communicates and aligns with the copy, and we can have a little bit more of a modern look to it that's more professional and that also reflects the perceived value of their brand. I continue to explain why I don't like the long form blog post type funnels, because of attention span, because of people now being a little bit more cautious with who they trust online, and especially because you have all these big brands as clients and the social following and all of that good stuff that I wanted to then present in the design itself. And to top it off, I sent them an example as well, saying this is kind of what I mean, and also sent a link to my portfolio. And here's where I think that the portfolio really started doing the selling instead of me. And so listen carefully, because I think this is valuable for you as well, no matter what you're selling in your business. I said, hey, here's the link to my portfolio. Let me know if you find some funnels you like the style of, and we can use that as inspiration for your funnel. So this builds trust, because now they're looking through the portfolio to see what funnels they like, which means they studied the funnel, they look at everything, and the goal here is to get their brain to say, man, I really like this type of funnel. I love that design. I love this branding. I love those colors, whatever it is, so that when they see that, they message you back saying, I like this one. Can we get this? And again, the goal is to get the brain to say, wow, I want my brand to look just like that one, because now they've chosen that they want to work with you, because they see that your portfolio has the same level of standards as what they want. So anyways, they responded with, yep, this is definitely the type of feel we're going for. We have a few other funnels we saw that we liked as well. Let me try to find those really quick, and agreed that our copy is way too long and full of text. So at this point, I had built a connection with them. I had collected information, exactly what I needed, asked the right questions. So now it was time to close by giving them a custom no-brainer deal that they couldn't say no to. And that's what I did. And also normally I would have waited for them to be like, how much is it? That's what you usually want to do. You explain what the process is going to be going forward, how you can build a funnel, what it's going to look like, and when you can deliver it, so that they ask, hey, how much is it then? And it's future pacing, because you get them to imagine, okay, the funnel is soon going to be live, it's going to look like this one. But because I felt the urgency, I knew that they needed the funnel. They like what they saw in my portfolio already. I felt pretty confident in knowing that they're going to say yes. And so I decided to send them another voice message with a custom deal. So here's what I said. So as far as the investment goes, what I usually do is I include everything start to finish: design, copy, mobile optimization, tech integrations, etc. And that usually start at around 3,500. Pause, let that sink in. But then for people who already have, say, copy, for an example, I give them a custom deal. Since it helps speed up the process, it makes it easier for me. Instead of 3.5K, I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. So I give them a discount. And some people say, some coaches and gurus will tell you to never discount your services. And I'm not talking about Black Friday offers where you sell a 5K, thing for $20. Like, that's just clown world. right there. But I give them a good deal because logically it makes sense. Some people pay $3,500 because they get everything. You have something already. Well done. Let me take that, give you a better deal. That's just basic logical math. And this is where I'm different from other sales coaches who say, after you say the price, be quiet, all of that. Instead, I proceed to tell them what's going to happen next. And only if the price is a problem are they going to object. But because I always tell them this, usually always work. So this is what I explain to them. And the way this works is as soon as the invoice is taken care of, pause. So I assume that it's okay for them. I'll send over an onboarding form where you can just fill out everything in one place. So I have everything I need and we won't have to go back and forth, which means that you'll have the funnel done and live for you by next week. Okay, so I don't know how much the actual words matter here. Basically, I'm painting the picture like, hey, I have everything in one place. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to lift your fingers after you fill out this onboarding form. And your funnel will be live. It's going to look like this, what you just saw in the portfolio, and you can launch your offer next week. Easy, nice and easy for the client. The reason I love this strategy is because it's so logical. It's so easy. It's non-pushy. It's not hard selling. It's not objection killer, slowly destroying all the excuses that someone might have. Plus, the few times when people do say that they have to think about it or they just ghost you, which is also a way of saying I need to think about it, is because they go out and hire someone else for way cheaper, which is totally fine. You know, if you set a price that you're going to charge, let's say 2,000, 3,000 or 1,500, and you keep it at that price, you're going to attract better clients if you have it a little bit higher. Not saying you have to go 10K, 15K, but you still charge pretty premium instead of going for $300, $500 clients who need the funnel done tomorrow, even if it means you staying up all night and never spending time with your family or kids. And that's probably not who you want to work with anyways. So that said, that's totally cool. You don't have to sign everybody. You just sign clients who you want to work with, because if you set up the right systems and you follow my process, you will have enough leads coming in consistently, so you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, this works. I mean, for me, 3-4 last years, I've never run out of clients. I've always had too many clients, meaning it's always been like, sorry, I can't do this. Or I say yes to all these and I'm like, okay, now I have to work long days. But it's always been a good problem to have because I've never run out of clients. I also never do sales calls. So another myth you've heard out there. So now let me show you the funnel and see if you like it. And then if you want to learn more how I get all these clients, how I onboard clients, and how I build the funnels and make sure that the clients are happy, which is a separate skill that you need to learn if you want to build this into a multi-six-figure agency. I can either directly coach you one-on-one in the inner circle, link is below, or coach you in a group setting that comes with the course Full-Time Funnel Designer. Also, link is in the description to that as well. So here's what the funnel looks like and my thought process behind building it out. So number one, you can see photography for creators. Number one, photography course on the market. The main headline is become a pro photographer and discover how to create content that stand out. Also wanted to make sure that it's clean and light. So I chose a bright background that's easy on the eyes. You can see it's not a typical old school internet marketing funnel, but a trustworthy brand with amazing results is what we're trying to portray. For the font, I chose a little bit more of an artsy font. And so I use Recoleta for headlines, and then I chose the Jakarta font for subheadlines and for body text. And then you can obviously see the sales video here above the scroll as well. Then we go down here. Because this was a launch, we have the timer. I never add these as fake scarcity, but sometimes for live launches, we do this to show them, hey, it's closing again soon. You go down here, you can see credibility and trust factors. 12 years combined experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, 800,000 plus social media followers, as well as all of the amazing clients that they have been working with. I then chose to show the co-founders. People love faces, and that builds a lot of trust and likability with the founders. And so that's always important as well. And this text right here is basically like an elevator pitch of what's to come on this page and inside of the course. And as you can see here, we have after, before, after. And so I chose to include 4 of those. And you can find the function to add this to your sales funnels with the juxtapose embed generator. We then scroll down, you can see the one-stop shop course for aspiring photographers, the what, the why, the how, added these animations here, custom icons, and basically explaining this is everything included that you need. It's not just settings, it's not just editing, it's everything that you need. I also wanted to highlight the following because as you can see, they have big followings, 183,000, 71,000, as well as other photography niche-based pages that help show credibility for what they've built. You know, especially in an industry like this, where you can see, if we go here, you can see their photos, looks amazing. And so, especially since they've grown their audience by being good at what they do, which is, I think is very important, and it helps a lot when you're trying to sell an offer as well. So yeah, I could go on and on, but to keep this video short, I'll just leave it at that. And if you want the rest of the rundown along with other behind the scenes funnel designs, case studies, plug and play template scripts and workbooks, I'd love to help you build your own online business to 10K per month and beyond. At fulltimefunneldesigner.com, you can see the page here. How to build funnels, how to make sure that your clients are happy, and everything in between. So yeah, that's the video. As always, keep being awesome, keep building funnels, and keep changing lives. You're closer than you think, and one client can change everything for you. I'll see you in the next one.